Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey everyone, welcome to That Pedal Show Live. Dan here.
Mick here, hello.
What a way to start the show.
we rehearsed
Which button?
it.
That button.
We rehearsed it 3 times. Welcome. Hopefully you'll let us know that you can hear everything, such as the nature of live shows, that we have no idea what's going out.
We can see the pretty lights. That's about it.
Those of you watching, please have your hand on your knob, as it were. Your volume knob, because it might be that we've got a few level discrepancies here and there. It's just the way these things go. Some things might be loud and some things might be quiet, not least with everything that's going to happen. All right, welcome.
Yeah, welcome indeed. Housekeeping, thank you so much for showing up. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. That would be fantastic. And also a massive thank you to anyone that's gone to thatpedalshowstore.com. We've got some new t-shirts in. It's really cool. Yeah, but
I've just got to show you this t-shirt because apparently it's not getting a lot of love on the store at the moment because people think it's this.
Oh, okay.
But it's this.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's lovely.
Yeah, it is.
Brilliant.
I request the decibel meter.
Oh, the DB meter. Okay, Dan.
All right.
Entertain the people.
Okay.
If you're going to do that, I need to do this. Happy days.
Happy days.
That the thing that runs the DB meter hasn't been moved in 2 years.
Right.
And it wasn't there.
Of course.
Anyway, cheers, mate. Happy summer.
Oh, dude, happy summer to you. Yeah.
We had to find
Hang on.
some proper red and blue drinks. Awesome.
Cheers, bud. Ah!
Oh.
Far out.
There is nothing right about blue food or drink.
No. You know you weren't supposed to drink that, right?
I've seen teenagers drinking it all the time. I'm sure it's fine. You know what it is? It's a particular drink that has the word blue in the title.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Blue food.
The cause of many a stomach pump and police car wailing siren.
When you fight outside your local walkabout pub.
Bebbers is on the controls today. This is new for us, and we're routing all the audio through this desk here, so we can have guitars and voices. We've done it once before. We've also got a bit of VT, so it's a bit of a... We're a bit DMorb happy, aren't we? Because we are going to have a couple of weeks off, in the Northern Hemisphere anyway. It's summer in most places, so...
Summer-esque.
So yeah, it is raining actually. It's literally biblical out there to the point of ark building.
Ah, there's a show.
Dan and Mick build the ark, and the Klons come on 2x2. Nope, Helix, you're not coming in. Anyway, so yeah, it's a Voyager Discovery, and a little test of some things that we want to try in even greater ambition.
Yes.
In the autumn.
Yes,
but
indeed.
Anyway, enough
Indeed.
ado. So let's dive in then. As you can see, we've created some no expense spent graphics to help the flow of the show in typical TPS style. And one of the themes we're following is the burning questions.
Indeed.
The topical questions of the day. And the question is, Dan...
Oh, yeah, right. Question is, will that pedal show ever do videos on pedals again? I love that question. It's wonderful.
We've been getting a bit of stick recently because we've done loads of videos on guitars and amps and not much on pedals. So we need to get back to our heartland territory. Bebbers, do you think that people can hear us? Have we got any comments coming in?
Everyone says
Everyone's happy.
We're good.
Yes.
Good. Happy days. Happy days.
No, we've got to get back to our roots.
We do.
Yep. Got to remember your roots.
Got to remember your roots.
Yep.
Interestingly, have you ever listened to Max Cavalera's, actually I think it's Sepultura, a song called Roots, Bloody Roots?
No.
Roots! Bloody Roots! A Brazilian screaming Roots, Bloody Roots. Sepultura. Yeah, I heard it for the first time the other day. Anyway, we need to get back to our roots, bloody roots, and we should start with new stuff we should have looked at but haven't yet. Look at those graphics. I mean,
Just.
Netflix is going to be on the phone, I reckon,
Yeah.
saying how. We've got one question for you guys.
Yeah.
How?
Okay, so new stuff.
Yeah, we should have
The most obvious thing you can see on the board, the Tonebender collaboration between Solar Sound and Boss.
that you can see on the
That
board.
you can see on the board. Bebba's on the board, the pedal board. There we go. No, it's there we go. So there we go. Yeah, collaboration between.
Sorry.
It's all right. Collaboration between Solar Sound and Tonebender. So this sort of came out of nowhere. We were not expecting this at all, which was interesting for a couple of reasons. One, because we had spent some time with Anthony Macari. We went up to Macari's music shop. And
There he
Anthony
is.
Macari, yes, look at this.
Oh, there's the logo.
There's the logo.
There it is. It's a bit small. Oh no, now it's too big.
So we went up and hung out with Anthony Macari and Josh Scott, and we did a show on all things Tonebender, and it was amazing. And Anthony had told us loads of things that day, things that were sworn not to let anyone know, which we haven't. But one of the things he didn't let out of the bag was this collaboration that was going on between him and Boss.
Yeah.
So when this turned up, it was a real surprise.
Yeah. So it's the Boss TB-2w Tonebender, produced in conjunction with Solar Sound and Ant Macari. And as far as I'm aware, Dan, they are basically rocking horse doo-doo, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they released at a street price of $300. Now people have got them up online.
What kind of dollars?
$300.
What, which dollars?
US dollars.
Oh, I
Sorry,
see.
yes,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
And now I think in the States they're selling for over $1,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Because inside it's like proper.
Well, they've done. It's really interesting. They use the proper germanium transistors. You've got the choice of buffer or true bypass. There's some voltage options, which is super interesting. You're actually drinking it. That's brilliant.
I'm thirsty.
What's mine?
Yours is red.
There's a red version of that.
Yeah.
All right.
I think it's pink gin. Try it.
Bebba said not to drink it. I thought you'd put like toilet cleaner or something in there just to make it pink.
It's pink gin WKD. Is it a bit sugary?
Oh. Wow.
It's
okay.
basically, I mean, it's liquid sugar with booze in it, isn't it? It's perfect.
It's the perfect drink. Okay.
Let's hear it.
All right, so let's hear it.
Give me a chance.
Okay, we've got the Matchless and the Princeton running together today.
Which we'll talk about in a minute. We'll talk about in a minute.
Okay, so here we
I went to pick up the Les Paul, but it's not there.
Oh, where is it?
No idea, which is slightly worrying.
Okay.
Let's have a go then.
We've always loved the sound of tonebenders with humbuckers. Tonebenders have a really cool way of tightening up the bottom end. And, you know, if I had any doubts whatsoever, hearing that plugged in is like, okay, yeah, they've really...
It's cleaned up okay, actually.
Yeah.
Tonebenders aren't known for cleaning up especially well in the way that fuzz faces are. So you've got the voltage switch.
This is fascinating.
Do you want to play and I'll do it? Or
no, you play it.
Do I need to know?
No. So what? You can guess what's going to happen, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, there we go. So we've got three positions. We've got 7 volt, 9 volt, and 12 volt. And you'll hear as we go to 7 volt, we're getting less voltage into the pedal. It's going to hamper a little bit. We're going to get a bit chewier, a bit more limiting going on. Then as we go through the voltage ranges, we're going to get a little bit more headroom, a bit more headroom. Yeah, fascinating. So here we go. I'll start at 7.
Okay, hold on. Do the magic faders.
All right. There you go.
Really cool.
I love that they've done that. So, you know, it's something that, you know, there's no tone control on there. So it's like a typical Mark II tonebender. But having that bit of variation with the voltage makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Really cool.
I'm really impressed, actually.
Do you mind? Could you just play for a tiny bit? I'll have a quick flick through the gain and volume,
sure.
volume range of it. Excuse me while I just put this down.
Actually, just before you... Actually, no, I'll do something else afterwards. Right, here we go.
Doesn't seem to have a huge amount of level.
No.
So you've got to have it round to sort of 3/4.
Yeah, and which is fairly indicative of a lot of early fuzzers.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have a huge amount of gain. It's the nature of those transistors. But I think sonically it's fantastic. I'm really, really impressed with it.
Yeah, it feels pretty nice. Feels
Yeah.
pretty nice to play as well. Apologies to everyone for the blast in the ears you got before I had a chance to whip the voice mics down.
Oh, okay. One last thing I wanted to point out, and this is true of a few of the Wazza series. You see the little silver screw here. I just think that's a really nice touch. So here is my old distortion, my old DS1. I'm going to come up here. You'll see here. Right.
Daniel is showing the silver screw on his 1980s Boss DS1 distortion pedal.
So the early Boss pedals came with that silver screw, and they're, you know, they're called it. It's, if you're going to buy it, you're going to call it the silver screw. If you're buying an old Boss pedal, it'll have, you know, it'll say in the description silver screw, and they've included the silver screw on the Tonebender and a couple of other Wazza pedals as well. I just thought that's a really nice touch for them to do that. It's really, really cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So there we go. We will probably make a video that compares it to other Tonebenders in time.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've had it for a couple of weeks, and it's really crazy that we hadn't looked at it yet. So
Yeah.
that's that.
Yep.
Okay, I think it's time for a burning question, Daniel.
Burning question.
These are the burning questions of our time. These are the questions that really matter. And the question is, will Mick ever really want to play a guitar designed after 1965?
That is a fantastic question.
Yeah, I get a bit of stick on this channel for only liking old guitars. Anyway, my dear friend, Mr. Anderton.
Mr. Lee Anderton. Mr. Anderton, Mr. Lee Anderton.
He said, you should really try this.
What is that?
It is, Daniel, an Oopegg. And I think that's how you pronounce it. Oopegg. Oopegg.
It sounds like your entry into the Eurovision Song Contest. Oopegg, Oopegg, Oopegg. Is that what?
Yeah, tell us about that, Dan.
There we go. Beautiful.
See the sparkle?
Yeah, lovely sparkle. It looks like one of those really expensive bass necks with all the multi bits of wood in there that they do for stability reasons. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, in the modern stakes, it's hardly a Strandberg. But he said, why don't you try it out? I thought, yeah, I'm not a massive fan of like modern guitars, but I just think it's pretty funky. In fact, you might even say it's not modern at all. It's really super retro.
Right.
I'll tell you before we get going that these pickups here are humbucking. That much I can deduce. And this one here, a single coil. It's got a 3-way selector, which I'll go through. It also has this 3-position, probably has a name, but it's like a grunt control. So
Grunt control, okay, I like that.
most powerful down, bit less powerful up, and less powerful again that way. Now I don't know whether that's a series and parallel thing, but you'll hear the difference it makes, and it's
Okay.
quite significant. It's also got this, what shall we say, post Jazzmaster Jaguar style bridge on it, which apparently you need to read the manual to understand how to use properly, which, yeah, of course I haven't done. And a 5-piece maple, might be rosewood, might be bibinga, might be wenga, with the inserts, as to Dan said earlier. Obviously the research is pretty heavy. Lee needs it back because he's selling them. So I thought I'd better give it a play before it goes back. Yeah?
Yeah. I thought what was really impressive was when you took it out of the case, it was pretty much in tune.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Says a lot.
There you go. Dude.
Hell of a range of noises.
Yeah.
That, I think, is probably some... You should look it up online, but it sounds like it's mixing some of the pickups together, maybe.
Right.
Or at the very least, it's a series parallel thing. Anyway, pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly hollow and spanky, all the way through to
touch your neck.
fairly... Do you want to have a go?
Ever so. Ugh. Lovely. Really lovely.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
They're certainly not inexpensive. They're premium Japanese guitar money.
It feels, but it feels like...
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Would I play it? I don't know. Higher action. I really like the that way you can go from super spank to...
The spank sound in it is quite remarkable, actually.
It definitely covers that sort of full throaty humbucker through to jazzmastery. That particular type of mid-range that a Jazzmaster or a Jag has.
I think split coil sounds are actually notoriously difficult to do.
Yeah.
But that seems to... What I don't know whatever it's doing, but it does sound like there's some sort of split thing going on in there. It sounds great.
It does. Sorry if that seems like a bit of a sales pitch. He just sent it to me and said, why don't you try this guitar? And I thought, okay, I will. We'll try it on air.
Nice.
So if you want to buy it, it'll be at Anderson's. Nice.
But does that answer the burning question though, Mick?
Well, so the burning question was, will Mick ever want to play a guitar designed after 1965? And maybe. We were talking to a friend a couple of days ago, actually, about this and about the things that you tie yourselves to, about the things you like and you don't like. And you get older and your playing changes and everything changes. And it's like, well, maybe, why not? I don't suppose I'll get Strandberg anytime soon, but with all due respect.
Yeah, there's a challenge. There's a challenge.
Yeah. Awesome things as they are.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I suppose you'd normally go to a commercial break now, wouldn't you?
Normally we would.
Yeah.
Here's word from our sponsors. That'd be us!
Hey! Okay, so another burning question then, Dan. There is an issue that I've felt personally attacked over.
I'm so sorry.
In the last week or so, and that is, will our dear friend Josh Scott ever stop ragging on people who like Klons and magic diodes?
That's a wonderful question.
We've had to put our Klon in a cage in the vlog room there. There's your lovely Ekarek. We've had to put it up there so it can be safe from the attacks of the internet.
Yeah. Needs must.
It must. And I just feel sorry for it. It feels entirely attacked. The magic pixie dust in it is fading if Josh keeps putting memes on the internet.
Every time, when I see children, I say, clap your hands.
Yeah.
Clap your hands so the gold magic fairy dust from the Klon doesn't die.
Yeah. So, I've always wanted to be a game show host.
Indeed.
I think we need to invoke the TPS Yesnometer.
Our first ever video, you're a game show host. That's brilliant. Yes, the Yesnometer.
Dan, if you'd
fantastic.
Like to, can you ask the question, please?
So the question is, will Josh Scott ever stop ragging on people who love original Klons with magic diodes? Here we go. It's spinning. Where it lands, no one knows. What's going to happen?
Nobody knows.
Here we go. And will he ever stop doing it? And that's a no. That's a no. And it's a Good job too. Good job too. Because an about's face at that speed can cause serious internal damage.
Yeah. So there we go. That's it. Concluded. NASA made that, by the way. So it's obviously science-based.
Not another. Anyway, I'll work it out.
Is this lame enough for you?
Lame/kick-ass.
If you've never watched the first ever video that Dan and I made together,
it's wonderful.
Well, we don't. It's one thing we don't have any VT of. We did. It was about Klons, actually, wasn't it?
It was. It was indeed. Oh man.
Where is it?
I just remember the end of it.
Yeah, it's on the It's on the Guitarist Magazine YouTube channel, in a playlist called. It was Movember, wasn't it? It was
Movember.
First time I ever did Movember, and we made a video every day, and it's the first time me and Dan made a video together. It was the Cloncher Challenge.
Cloncher Challenge.
When the J Rocket Archer had just come out for the first time.
Right.
And I was Tick Mailer, game show host.
No.
Anyway, Bev, is Bev trying to send you texts by any chance?
No.
Cool. We will say a massive thanks to BV today for moderating, as always.
Indeed.
Quite where he finds the time to do all this is beyond us, but Bev, we appreciate it massively. Thank you so much.
Legend.
Okay, so let's move on. This segment is called, once again, Interesting Stuff We Have No Real Need to Look At, but we want to anyway. And again, the no expense spent graphics there. So this section is all about, did Dan ever try the Matchless and the Princeton wet dry? Because the background story is...
Yes, so we did a show recently looking at the difference between a deluxe reverb and the Princeton reverb. And I had an emotional moment with the Princeton. And I really, really wanted to try it in wet dry setup with the Matchless. So the idea is the Matchless will handle all the overdrive pedals and the effects and the everything. The Princeton will only be getting the overdrive effects. So the signal will be split after the overdrive, and then that'll go to the Princeton, and then everything else will go to the Matchless. So that's the idea, right? To see if we can get to see how the Princeton will fare in a wet dry setup with a Matchless. There we go.
We didn't have any VT for that bit, so I thought a unicorn dancing on the screen would be better.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, certainly. Love it. There we go.
So we can't keep doing the voices up and down, so there will be hand gestures.
Okay.
At this point. Berbers, could you just, where it says LG on that screen over there, could you push the button that's directly underneath on the lower edge, please?
I'm not following you.
Where it says LG on the top screen.
And mix off. Okay.
Oh, that. Sorry.
So the first thing we'll do, we'll just hear the amps separately. Okay.
If you run through it, Dan, I will gesticulate as to what's happening.
Okay.
Does
great.
that work?
Yep. So hear the amps together.
Welcome to the That Pedal Show, getting things wrong.
Here we go. Here we go. I put a bit of delay and reverb. Voices are up?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm going to put a bit of delay and reverb just into the Matchless. So you'll hear, I'll switch between the amps again, and you'll hear there's no delay and reverb going into the Princeton, just the Matchless. Okay, so here's the Matchless.
I think that works.
Outrageous behaviour.
Nice.
Wow.
Sounds really killer. I don't know what you're hearing in your monitors or headphones or however you're listening. I recorded a bit of that yesterday and had a listen back to it. And it's quite interesting that Princeton has got that top end in a big way.
And that's all I want that for.
Yeah.
You know, and not to have any effects going through that. It just adds that sizzle on top. I think that's pretty amazing. I would like it to be able to get a little bit louder before it starts to, you know, completely... The way it breaks up is beautiful, but just a little bit more headroom would be great. But I'm loving that 10-inch thing.
Okay, well, if only I had a way to address that.
If only you did.
Dan hasn't tried this yet. Again, I tried it yesterday just to make sure it would work. So when we did the Princeton show, the biggest question we got was, what about a 12-inch speaker? What about 210s? What about a different 10? What about a different speaker, basically, in the Princeton in order to give it a bit more oomph and stop that speaker breaking up so much?
Right.
One person even said, nah, the speaker's not breaking up, it's the phase inverter.
Yeah.
I'm wholly confident that the speaker is breaking up.
Yeah,
as
absolutely.
well.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what I've got, ages ago, Paul at Zilla Cabs made me a 210
Yes, I remember.
cab in the style of... I've got these kind of Dumble style, D-style... say Dumble. D-style 112s, and I had him make up a 212 in the same type with a big oval open back.
Right.
And two Celestion Alnico Golds in it.
Right.
So what you've got in there now, we're going to move from the single Jensen low power 10 in the cab to two 10-inch Alnico Golds, which are 50 watts a piece. So we're going to be giving it 100 watts worth of speakers.
Okay.
In a 210 cab. There'll just be a bit of messing about while I swap the mics over.
Okay. So to remind ourselves what that 10 sounds like,
Yeah.
I'll just play a little bit in that. And
Yeah, what Dad's going to do, he'll play the same thing. I will, as fast as I can, swap the mics over, and you'll then hear, we won't talk in between, you'll just hear what happens next.
Okay. Showing as he bends over to position the microphone. That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable.
I knew.
Oh, wow.
I've been waiting to do that for a little while, and when I was setting up the amps last night, I plugged it in. I was like, he is gonna love this because you get all the bottom end, but actually that thing that you like about the mids and the tops is almost accentuated because of the Alnico speaker.
Oh, no.
So the next thing to try is to put one of the golds in the Princeton and see.
Okay.
I mean, we can't do it with these ones because they're 16 ohms, and so they're wired in parallel to give 8 ohms, which is what the Princeton is seeing in its internal speaker, I believe.
That is absolutely wonderful.
You like it?
Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully. So the way we've got the guitars mixed today is there are the mics on the cabs, as you can see, as always, and in addition we have 2 mics in the room, and what the room mics tend to pick up is a bit more of the sort of resonant bottom end that happens in the room. So hopefully you will have got a sense that the Princeton in its own cab sounded a little bit smaller, and that with the 210 cab there's much more bottom end.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, considerably more, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't. That top end thing
Yeah.
is there. That quickness thing is all there.
And we didn't change any settings on the amps. It might be that
man.
you dial the bass down in the Princeton a bit more. So just before we move on from this then, just go for the Princeton a minute and we'll crank it.
Yeah,
And we'll see
we will.
We'll see what happens next. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. And what seems relevant to do now is I'll switch it. I won't change anything on the amp. We got up to 8 there. I'll switch it back to the internal speaker and you'll just get an instant comparison, yeah?
Okay, but that is unbelievable. That is absolutely...
Like it?
Oh my giddy aunt.
Cool.
She is so giddy currently.
Keep talking to the people while I do this then.
Okay. Wow. I think the thing that grabbed my attention initially about the 10-inch speakers is because I've always loved a really bright sound, and you know, I think the thing about playing Telecasters and bright, really present, I don't know, it just helps me connect in whatever way. But the thing that the 10-inch speakers added for me was this quickness, and they just felt really wonderful. But the thing that surprised me most, so we've got 2 of those speakers, so the amp is working harder to push those speakers, but it's louder. And that zing is still there. As fat as that sounds, it's still got this amazing zing at the top. I'm blown away by that.
Right, here you go then. I'll turn the amp up. Give me just a second to turn the voice mic down.
Okay. That's enough. Wow. Absolutely love the 2x10. What a phenomenal difference. That's amazing.
So I better put it back to the 2x10 for the rest of the show then.
Sure. That would be great. Thank you. Wow. Yeah, blown away by that. Amazing. Cool.
I thought the amp itself still had plenty of bottom end,
Right.
just in a different way.
Sure. But there's a when the amp is pushed, it's breaking up in a way. It's obviously very, very cool. I just prefer the way that the Golds, the 210 broke up.
Yeah.
I think it just sounded more, I don't know. It was spongy, but didn't the zing at the top didn't go, and didn't get harsh. Really amazing. Wow.
Yes, your experience of that out there in viewerland may be that it did sound a bit harsh, because obviously I am guessing about the position of the mic on the speaker, so it might be.
What are the good people saying, Catherine? Are they saying it was harsh? No? Okay. No? Good.
Cool. All right. Let's see then. Where were we? 4.5.
4.5. Sounds good.
Groovy.
Groovy, baby. Right. That was good.
It was good. If we do this again, when we do this again, because there'll be like guests and bands and stuff, we will have a producer. I'm really hot, and it's the only
But it's going to make things worse,
it's the only
surely.
available beverage. Okay. I mean, Dan is very careful about the amount of sugar he intakes.
I haven't had that much sugar in.
That will be
Years.
spinning you out,
Yeah.
which is
I'm
scary.
playing on my death metal riffs.
Okay, can't wait to read the comments about what you thought about that out there in viewerland, and I can't wait to listen to the audio back as it goes, because you
We've
never
got no
quite
idea.
you never quite know what's going out. Okay, on the subject of speaker cabinets, then I think we have another burning question. The burning questions. Should have done a VO for that.
Oh, we will. We will.
Yeah. So the question is, did Mick ever get that D-style cabinet he was talking about ages ago? He didn't, but it is being made as we speak, and we got the Crime Watch artists to put up a artist's impression.
Oh my word! Look at that.
So there you go.
Oh
Paul
my
at
goodness.
Zilla is making that for me. I have photoshopped on the Vox brown grill cloth and the white piping, which looks overly white and doesn't have a correct shadow on it, so it looks weird. But as you can see, it is brown fake croc skin.
Do you want some real croc skin? I know a guy.
That's not a knife.
That is not. See, you played Knifey Spoony before.
So there we go. Only a true idiot would have a D-style, and by D I mean Dumble, but I don't want to antagonise him any more than is already going to happen. 412. It's bigger than a Marshall 412.
That's what we need. Without the 412 wasn't quite big enough.
Wasn't
We need a
big enough.
Bigger one.
And of course, it has that sort of split baffle design and look, which just looks really cool. The last Dumble cab I saw, 412, that sold for 25,000.
Oh, stop it.
25,000 of your dollars there, and that seemed just a tad pricey for my liking. So
this is, I mean, might sound like a stupid question. It's closed back. There's no oval. thing
no,
in the back.
well, okay, so it's not really a Dumble 412. It is designed to mimic the aesthetic of one,
Right.
because there's not a huge amount of information on how they were actually made.
Okay.
There's a couple of really great things online, actually. Some guy built one from scratch and really went into it. Eli at 2 Rock will know how they're made because he knows these things. But really, it's about the aesthetic. And in there is going to go 4 Jensen Raptor 100 speakers.
I've heard about these. Wow, they look amazing.
Yeah, I thought about EVs, but A, they're tremendously expensive and weigh insane. To be fair, the Jensens have got a 50-ounce magnet, so they're not.
Yeah,
they're
they're
by
not
no way
light.
light. But they, I got the story from Ignazio there at Jensen, who's become a mate down the years, and he's a good player. And they did that awesome speaker for the Mesa Cali Tweed.
Can you just check my pupils? Are they okay?
Yeah,
Because I'm feeling that now.
similar dilation.
Right, okay. All right.
Man, kids are drinking this stuff every day.
I think a Red Bull would probably kill me now.
Yeah.
Would it? Sorry. Please
Got any
carry
Red
on.
Bull? And anyway, he's a big fan of that kind of that sound and that whole lineage of sound. And he has a collection of nice EVs, and I think they influence the development of the Raptor.
Okay.
It's not the same thing,
No.
because it's 100 watts, not 200 watts.
Sure.
It's not the same thing, but it is in that ballpark. So we'll see. There's 4 of them going in now. I'm going to wire it stereo
Okay.
and mono. So stereo, we can put the Mesa 5050 power amp on top and do the insane wet dry dual mono stereo rig.
Lovely.
Quite what the relevance is in 2021 of In Quiet Stages, I don't know, but
No, they're coming back.
they are.
They're coming back.
Dan and I wish to rebirth the 412 back to the world.
Indeed.
To
I
the-
remember.
to those who it is lost, because it's definitely not lost to everyone.
No, absolutely. I remember buying my first car, it was a little hatchback, and I would get my 412 in, and I'd drive with my chin over the steering wheel like this as the 412 was pushing me into the steering wheel. And I'm like, no, I'm good. I've got this.
That is the only way to buy a car.
Definitely.
Will it go in the boot? Right, let's move on then. So we've got 2 more things to look at. Actually, we've got 2 more pedals to look at, and then one final thing. One of these is the Thorpy Pulse Doppler we've had for a little while, which we really should have looked at by now, and we will do more in-depth video on it. Secondly, the Suhr Discovery analog delay is brand spanking new. We're not sure anyone's seen this yet, or certainly not very many people have seen it yet. And we had a little tour of it on Wednesday, and it's really cool. So we thought, for in our D-Mob happy spirit, we'd literally just run through a few sounds from each.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
And talk about them. So why is the Discovery analog delay interesting?
So a number of reasons. It uses original MN3005 chips, which are really hard to get hold of.
Yeah,
but
which
they
we
are
know from
loads of analog delays have used them. Yeah, it's a proper bucket brigade device. So it uses those, but it does it in a really clever way, because we still have access to huge amount of delay time. All the knobs that you could hope are there, filter controls and EQ controls on the repeats, but it's all available to be accessed by MIDI as well, and you can store presets and all that stuff. So
Tap tempo.
Tap tempo. I mean, it's amazing. So, I think all that stuff is really good, but the most important thing is how it sounds, because you can have all the functionality in the world, but if it's not nailing it sonically, it's going to be a tough sell. I think this thing sounds absolutely incredible. So let's just
We'll whip through a couple of sounds. There's a couple of sounds we'll go through. One is like a real short delay. We'll then get into some oscillation of the short delays, which is a really cool thing.
Yep.
We'll then move up to your standard slapbacks and stuff like that. Then we'll go to a bit longer. Then we'll go to longer still. And interestingly, it's got over 1100 milliseconds.
delay time.
Yeah.
That's just on the top knob. Then you can actually increase that to whatever you like, and it starts to start aliasing and all this stuff. It sounds really cool.
Cool. All right then. Let's go.
All right. I think it sounds incredible.
Pretty killer.
Yeah.
Sorry we don't have a closer cam so you could see what was going on there, but what we did was ran the gamut of available delay time off the top panel, and then messed around with the modulation, which has speed and depth. There are high and low cut EQ.
Yep, there's different sorts of waveforms for the modulation as well. You've got
which we
sine wave, triangle wave,
didn't look at
square
that,
wave. Very cool. Yeah, it's amazing. They're really expensive.
Yeah, loads of money.
And you cannot get them.
Yeah.
Because they're, you know, just that chipset alone, just getting enough for a normal run is huge. But it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. There we go. Mick and his unicorn.
Yeah.
Very good.
All good for the Klon and the Dumble rig.
Awesome.
We'll follow up with that. The reason that they're rare is because they are very labour intensive to build, and Suhr's just working that out at the moment.
Yep.
So hopefully there'll be more in time. Obviously the chips are a little bit rare as well, so it's a very intensive process.
Yes. Designed by Kevin Suhr, John Suhr's son.
Ah, no way.
Yeah. Yeah. Very
How
cool.
cool.
Very cool.
How cool. So yeah, we'll do a follow-up show at some point which puts it next to, so there's another couple that have come out recently. The J-Rocket Clockwork looks really interesting.
Very interesting.
Very kind of Memory Man based by the looks of
Didn't
things.
Howard Davis design it?
Designed by Howard Davis, who
Wow.
designed the original Memory Man Deluxe, I believe. And then, actually, if you want to see a really great demo of that, watch Sean Tubbs' demo.
Go and watch Sean. Just watch all of Sean Tubbs' demos.
Yeah, man, he is, what an astonishing guitar player.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. All right, Pulse Doppler then, Thorpy. We should have looked at this ages ago.
Yep.
What's the story on this?
So, it's a 4-stage phaser that you can turn off the dry signal to give you vibrato. There are 2 separate LFOs that you can... Yeah. That was very good. It's designed by Dan Coggins,
Yeah.
who the designer of Love Tone pedals. So it's sort of the next step on from the original Doppelganger.
Doppelganger, right.
And it's an amazing sounding thing. So like everything is very interactive. But I'll get you to play, and I'm going to go through some sounds.
Cool.
And I'll do a couple of things where I'll switch between having the dry signal on and having the dry signal off so you can hear the vibrato, basically. Yep. And then we'll get the LFOs going so you can, all that stuff. All right. Here we go.
So it's somewhere between like a tremolo, a univibe,
A phaser.
phaser.
So
Presumably that's about 1/10 of what it does as well,
yeah,
is it?
it's just an uber tweakable, ultra high-end 4-stage phaser. So it's really interesting. I find with a lot of Dan Coggan's designs, there is so many sounds in there.
Yeah. The scope seems massive.
It is unreal, and you've got to, we're literally just tickling it.
Were you filtering different LFOs there?
So
Because there seemed to be like more bottom end and less bottom end.
was inverting them
Yeah, okay.
at some point, inverting the two different sides of the phaser, and yeah, it's one of those pedals you can just sit down with and lose hours. It's phenomenal.
Cool. Well, it'd be great to get into that in a bit more detail. One thing that always strikes me about nicely made modulation devices in the analog world, and we know how Thorpy and Dan make stuff.
Yeah.
The high end,
Just right up. Yeah.
the lack of nasty filtering.
Yeah.
So it's right there, and hopefully you will have got some of that, because I was hearing it off the 210 cab in a big way. The way Dan was talking about the high end response of those golds,
Yeah.
that kind of almost like insanely buffered type high end,
Sure.
is right there.
It's magic.
Really cool. Yeah, really, really cool. And I guess a nice alternative to, if you're not really sure about harmonic tremolo, if you're not really sure about univibe, if you're not really sure about phaser,
Yeah.
it's sort of got a bit of all of it, hasn't
Yeah,
it?
it's sort of all in there. But
And more.
but there are unique things in, like, I remember the Doppelganger sitting down with it going, how do you steer this thing?
Yeah.
But then when you start to get the hang of it, it's like, whoa.
Yeah,
Well, and this has got it. This has got all that whoa factor.
I'm pretty sure I've seen a demo of it somewhere where it does like mad, almost ring moddy type things,
Right,
and
yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So-
because you can change the manual control, changes the time and the in the phasing.
Yeah.
Basically changes the time, so you can increase and decrease that. It's just really cool.
Awesome.
Really cool.
Okay, nice. Well, a quick look at those, and I guess we'll look at them in a bit more relevant context as time goes on.
Indeed.
As when we're back in
Indeed.
autumn. Okay. Well, that's it. We're almost done.
You know what? I thought it'd be a half-hour show today. Not on an hour and 20.
No, I knew we'd be going. I was going to go for an hour and 45.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Normally, for those of you who join us on a Monday, you'll know that we can yak for ages. That wasn't necessarily the point of today. It was to have a little rip through a few things. On the subject of which, topically, we know that the Olympics is going on at Tokyo at the moment.
Indeed.
They've called it 2020, which is
Yeah.
kind of confusing.
Yeah.
And,
How's Team GB doing?
Team GB's doing all right. You got a feel for the BBC a little bit,
Right.
because Discovery got the broadcasting rights, and only granted the BBC only had so much money so they missed the first couple of medals,
Right.
which I think were in, like, I don't know, vodka bottle swiveling and downhill toboggan on ice,
Cheese racing.
cake
Yeah.
baking,
Very good.
and the Great British public got really annoyed about that. But anyway, congratulations to let's see, what did we have today? I think BMX racing medals. There was a bronze, I think, in the rowing. First time we haven't won a gold in rowing since the early 1900s.
Really?
Something like that.
Wow.
Or 1980, maybe 1980. Last century. And so in the spirit of sport and competition, and our hearts go out to all those athletes who are over there competing with no blooming crowds, which
Yeah.
might be tough.
Australia's done well. I hear we did very well in the T-shirt folding competition.
No way.
Indeed. I think we got some videotape. I think we actually managed to secure the rights of the T-shirt folding competition.
Oh, we spoke to Discovery.
Yeah, I know a guy.
Oh,
Same guy that can do your cab.
I think Roll VT.
Hello and welcome to this final of the 2021 T-shirt folding Olympics, brought to you by Fair Dinkum Flea and Worming Treatment.
We're looking at Steinhardt, the Australian contender, and Taylor, the great pretender, the challenger to the crown of Steinhardt's 47 gold medals. Limbering up there, these athletes are in great shape.
Yeah, they're in some sort of shape.
Have to get those hip flexors fully moving, arms, shoulders, and of course, crown jewels.
It's the final. It's the big one. You can cut the tension in the air with something very, very sharp indeed.
The tension is palpable. Wait for the gun. Off they go!
Oh, a bit of a push there from Steiner. But as we all know, rubbing is racing, Michael. Rubbing is racing.
The Australian is certainly going to capitalise on this early advantage.
Oh, he's not using the contraption, though.
Another little nudge there from Steiner. It seems gamesmanship more important than foldsmanship here. The Australian really showing his experience here. The Englishman's got his folding contraption all the wrong way around. It just looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. I think he might have been on the sauce last night, if I'm honest.
Ah, yes, but look at the technique from the Australian there. He's abandoned the folding technique. He's gone for the traditional folding by hands.
The Fosbury fold. Taylor is absolutely nowhere. Steiner's going for the bag. Nobody bags this early.
He's always been known for his bagging technique. Serious bagger, that Steinhardt.
You'd be happy if you'd bought one of these from that pedal show store, I think.
Lovely technique there. The sticky nuts comes off the back. He's folded it down. Oh, and he's done. He's done.
Taylor is absolutely nowhere. Do I sense some slight resignation in his attitude?
To be fair, I think Steinhardt put him right off his game at the start. That's tactics. But being classy, Taylor's still finishing. Oh, I don't know.
He's
classy, or is he throwing
he's
the
lost
toys?
it.
He's thrown the toys out of the pram.
He's lost it.
He's lost it.
Certain disqualification.
Gold for Australia.
Looks like gold for Australia, silver for Britain.
Quality folding that. Whoa, he's bundled him.
Like a flying hippopotamus.
And yet very impressive not to show any sign of crack there at the end from Taylor. I think fantastic display from both men.
Gold medal for Australia.
Yeah, so amazing technique there.
Congratulations to Australia,
Yeah,
I
they've
would
done
say.
very, very well.
I mean,
He comes from a long line of baggers, actually, to be fair. His dad was a bagger, his grandfather was a proper bagger. You know, but, you know, deserved win.
Yeah, good. Well done to all our athletes and Olympians, just as you've just seen.
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, I think that's us, Dan.
That's us.
I'm not sure we could really follow that.
No, difficult.
Yeah,
Difficult.
that sporting performance.
Yeah, just the prowess.
Okay, so just to say, what can we expect in the autumn then? What are we looking forward to? We did talk about it a little bit at the top of the show.
Yeah.
For
For
those of you interested, keep an eye out on the possibility of TPS Experience Days.
Yeah, that's huge.
We're going to do more stuff for people who maybe aren't quite as geeky as we all are.
Yep.
Just to try and encourage some new people into the fold and reduce the confusion out there.
Yeah, so we've got a beginner series coming up, which was loads of fun.
Yeah. We're going to do more live stuff.
Live stuff.
There will be a band in here. That's
Yeah.
part of what we're doing today is about just seeing if the tech works and the switching works and all of
We've
that.
got drums and everything.
Yeah,
gonna
we
be
actually
amazing.
did buy a drum kit. I think the TPS Yesnometer ought to come out again.
I think so.
I mean, they spent like 4 years and $17 billion developing it. So
They did. They were going for the wheel of.
Yes, that may have come out.
Okay.
The wheel of challenge for challenges.
The wheel of challenge for challenges.
Yeah, a bit more of that stuff as well.
Okay.
And so yeah, more lives, more short stuff, more pedals, more of everything once we've been able to have a little bit of a rest. And we hope you all get a bit of a rest too, if that's indeed possible, in these flipping weird times.
Indeed. So massive thank you for joining us today.
Can we try this?
Yeah, you please have
You're
it.
not going to have any more of it.
No, I'm already buzzing. Thank you so much for joining us today. Massive thank you to our preferred retailers in the UK and Europe is Anderton's Music of Guildford and Surrey, and also our dear friends in Australia, Pedal Empire in Brisbane, Queensland.
That is
You've just...
truly gopping.
There's a pen in there. You probably had ink. Massive thank you to everyone that's gone to thatpedalshowstore.com and grabbed some t-shirts and strings and hats and pedals and loads of stuff there. So go and check that out. That's great. And also a massive thank you to our patrons on Patreon. You actually, without you, it'd be very, very difficult to create this amount of silliness. So we really, really appreciate it.
Especially this.
Especially that.
Oh, come on.
There you go.
There you go. Especially that.
There we go. Cool.
Excellent.
Excellent.
Thanks so much for being with us. I think Dan should probably play us out That'd be the best way to end the show, wouldn't
Okay,
it, Dan?
sounds like
and we'll
fun.
fade out like an album from the 70s.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.